Hi guys, we're going to be doing a pick a card reading for how are you going to get the bag. I just thought this would be kind of fun. I was going through some old stuff of mine and found these cute old Barbie purses. So I thought this would be kind of a fun little pick a card to do. So we have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. The timestamps will be listed down below in the description box, as well as in the comment section. Take your time to pick which one you'd like, and if you feel drawn to pick more than one, feel free to do that. All right, those of you guys that picked pile number 1, if you chose this cute little purse, I'm going to do a close-up so you guys can see what it looks like. Don't mind the nails. All right. So, how are you guys getting to the bag? We have high honor, renewal, and enlightenment. We also have the 7th and the 12th house. And then we also have magnetism through gratitude and no expectations. All right. So pile number 1. How are you guys going to get to the bag? So already what I'm getting for you guys is something to do with a mixture of other people around you as well as your spirituality. The reason I say that as well is because the 7th and the 12th house lets me know that the main sources of how you're going to get your bag or how you're going to get resources is going to be through those avenues. The 7th house is all about partnerships, close, intimate relationships. So this can incorporate friends, family, and even lovers. The 12th house is also about karma, as well as the subconscious mind and what we considered the dream field. So a lot of the times, the 12th house can also signify baggage and anything that is like unresolved, that is ethereal or something that is a much higher force above us. So these are things that I can see that are a key factor of how you're going to be getting the bag. Now, for a lot of you guys, one of the things that I am also picking up on is it says here your magnetism through gratitude. For a lot of you guys, you could be very grateful for the things you do have, but what I'm also getting is that you could be showing a lot more appreciation to people around you, and your energy is very magnetizing. It's very positive. When you have that positive energy, more people want to be around you. And really what I'm getting here is that for some of you guys, if this is going to be a select few of you, if some of you guys are working on a spiritual business, I can see that doing very well to where you will start making streams of revenue and other things that way. However, what I'm getting for a lot of you guys is to say not to have expectations. So perhaps the way you're going to get your bag is because you didn't have expectations. Maybe you met a group of people, or maybe you have people around you and you don't expect them to take care of you, you don't expect them to do things for you. And because you have no expectations, it opens up avenues for people to want to do that for you. You know, when people can feel that you want something from them, they can sense that, and it can lead other people to wanting to kind of stay away from you. You know, it kind of repels people away when you have that needy energy. And what I'm getting here is that a lot of you guys, you could have gotten rid of some kind of aspect of you that felt like you have to have validation or that you have to have certain things in order to be satisfied or in order to be happy in your relationships. I feel like a lot of you guys could have worked on working through the subconscious mind, working through things that no longer serve you. And because you guys have started to work on those types of things, you're causing yourself to gain a renewal. You might have even reached a form of enlightenment to where maybe you realize some of your bad behaviors and how that could have rubbed off on other people. But because you chose to better yourself, because you chose to work on yourself, it also just kind of adds to your reputation. So for a lot of you, your reputation could be changing, which is why you're getting a high honor. You have more people talking positively about you behind your back than you do negative, and this is another reason to why this is actually coming in for you. It's like you're getting free publicity without even realizing it. The way that you talk to people, the way that you show care, the way that you are considerate to those around you, whether you realize even just by the small actions of the things that you say and do really does make a difference to people around you. And because of that, I see a lot of people wanting to kind of come forward and help you out. I feel like you have people that want to see you thrive and see you doing better. And for a lot of you guys, this is karma kind of coming back around on you. I feel like you guys could have had a heart of gold for a majority of the time that you've been here on this earth. And because of that, because you shared a lot of kindness and a lot of joy to people, I can see how that is starting to finally multiply and is starting to help you gain resources. Now, for a lot of you guys, I'm not just getting money here, I'm also getting fulfillment in relationships. You guys are starting to develop an inner, more richer dialogue with other people. And you're also starting to figure out more about who you are. You know, you're not just this body, you're not just what you do for a living. And you're starting to kind of awaken to that, to where you're not holding on to as materialistic stuff as you once did. You might not be holding on to certain aspects of yourself that you once identified with. Because of that, this is also what's going to be bringing in more resources, bringing in more forms of happiness. So I feel like you guys are actually gaining a more of an inner insight. Another thing I wanted to kind of point out is there's like a single flower, a little rose right here, and we also have renewal again, and it kind of looks like her flowers are blooming. For a lot of you guys, this has been a growing process for you. This has been something that has been more subtle for you. If you do think about the other two bags that's on the table, they were a little bit more flashy, a little bit more showy than this. This is more of a classic, more of a minimal type of piece of bag compared to the other two. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe that's how you dress, or maybe that's how you appear to people, is like a classic minimal look. So there's something about you guys that also stick out to people, and even the way you style yourself and even the way that you dress yourself is very on point to who you are. So people kind of notice you by that. So you kind of have a brand for yourself. So I'm going to pull some tarot here and kind of break in a little bit more and just kind of see what's happening here for you guys before I close out of this reading. But I feel like for a lot of you guys too, because maybe you have that no expectation, especially when you first initially meet strangers, you know, maybe you don't expect much from people. And because of that, you are actually gaining more insights. So you're kind of treating people the way that they want to be treated. Or it's like when people come across you, they don't feel like you need something from them. And this is very appealing to people. For a lot of you guys, you might have felt like you have been between two parts of your life. You know, maybe you felt torn between your spirituality and who you see yourself to be, as well as what you want or how other people wanted you to be. And for a while, maybe you have kind of became nostalgic about the past, or became nostalgic about certain things about yourself, or just the way that you want your life to be. And I feel like you guys could have held a vision for yourself for a while, and this could have changed parts of yourself. And I'm also just kind of getting to that for a lot of you guys, you've had a lot of setbacks. This has not been an easy journey for you. I feel like you could have had a lot of people that did not support you. You could have had a lot of people that refused to help you grow, that refused to help you in different ways. And for a lot of you guys as well, it felt like things were stagnant. Maybe you lost a part of yourself, and maybe you felt like nothing was coming around, and then also on top of that, you could have lost money, you could have lost resources. Maybe you've had to start over a few times, and this has caused you to be more humble about the things you have. And when people would to look at you, they wouldn't know that perhaps you've been on welfare, or perhaps you've been on food stamps, or perhaps you've had some kind of assistance. And if you haven't had those, then it's like something about you still hitting rock bottom. For some of you, and this is a small few of you, you may have even been in bankruptcy or have gone through something where you feel like you've lost a lot of things along the way. There could have been one point in time where maybe you didn't listen to your intuition. There could have been one point in time where maybe you didn't go after the things you knew you were supposed to. And because of that, maybe you felt like you've had to almost rearrange your life. You had to regather yourself. And this could have been a pause. This could have been a moment in your time where things were kind of stagnant. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you've just dealt with a lot of people that were not willing to help you out, that were not willing to give back to you in the way that you needed them to. And this could have caused a lot of towers in your life. But what I'm getting here now is that a lot of these moments are starting to pass and things are starting to shine for you. And I feel like it's because, again, you're not coming at a relationship or a situation like you expected things. You didn't come around entitled. You didn't come around acting like you deserve everything in the world. But you went through these hardships, and I feel like you guys faced these hardships. You could have been met with a lot of difficult decisions where you didn't know where to go, you didn't know what to say or what to do. This could have been something that was very difficult for you. And some of you guys, maybe you overthought things a little too much. People could have been deceitful, could have lied to you, could have persuaded you to go in the wrong path and the wrong decision. This could have caused a lot of conflict with other people as well, because I feel like this pile, you guys have dealt with a lot of people telling you how you should live your life or how you should be. And I feel like you were never like that with other people, but you may have felt like other people were like that with you. And this could have built a lot of frustration in you because you just wanted to be accepted, you just wanted to be loved, you just wanted to be seen. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you stuck on your path, even when you doubted yourself, even when you felt like you didn't know what was going to happen. Again, I feel like there was a lot of loss in your life, a lot of things that kind of forced you to heal. It forced you to move past whatever these obstacles were. And I just feel like for a lot of you guys, it's starting to finally come to a close. Things are finally coming to an end. Sometimes you have to go through harsh lessons because we have to learn to let go. Letting go is going to ultimately what's going to help us. But you guys could have felt like you had to lose a lot. You may have lost a lot. Some of you guys could have been divorced and had to deal with legal aspects. Others of you guys, you could have lost a job or you could have lost a home. There was a lot of things I feel like this pile had to go through that forced you guys to, like I said, stay humble or to appreciate the things you did have. And because you had that, and because your relationships could have been difficult, because, you've had to learn to surrender a lot in your life, I feel like you are finally going to have that new sense of renewal. Things are now coming together. The wheel of fortune is now turning in your favor. You may have had the wheel upside down for a minute. You may have felt like you weren't going anywhere fast. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, if you're looking for like a job, someone's going to give you that job. If you're looking for some kind of resource, it's going to come through other people, and it may shock you and it may surprise you, mostly because you may not have been treated the best, pile number one. You may have not been treated with a lot of love and a lot of respect. Maybe you've kind of given up a sense of humanity. Maybe you kind of would be the one that would always give, but I'm telling you that now you have people coming in that's going to give you what you need, and people that are going to actually care a lot more about you than you realize, and they're going to show it. They're not just going to talk about it, they're going to show it. So I feel like for this pile, what you're actually getting is you're gaining a sense of community and you're gaining a sense of support that you may have craved or may have wanted for such a long time. But throughout this journey, it almost taught you to let go of the need for that. Because whatever you had to go through, all of that wasn't in vain. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you were emotionally drained. You feel tired, you feel like the world has kind of beaten you up. And what I'm just getting here is that things are finally showing up in your reality because you didn't give up, because you chose to continue to move forward, because you chose to show kindness to other people, because you chose to not let the world change you, not let the world harden you. And because of that, you guys have always stayed 10 toes down in what you believe and what you want and what you care about. And I feel like for some of you guys, you may have had to lose things along the way. And some of you guys, you could have lost commitments, you could have lost resources that were very detrimental to you at one point. But I feel like for a lot of you guys too, it's like you are beginning a new journey, and this new journey is going to be exciting for you because you're finally going to meet people that actually can respect you and actually is going to give you what you're looking for. And I see that very heavily for you guys because, again, I just feel like that's something that you guys have been wanting, desiring, and needing. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's finally coming together for you in ways that it's going to shock you. And I think it's because you guys have given up this sense of hope on it, or that you've given up this need for it. And it's like you don't have the expectations. You're healing, you're moving through it. Because you don't have that expectation, there's nothing holding it back. There's nothing causing it to be put on hold because you are no longer expecting something to happen for you. And because of that, I just see people coming in and showing you love, showing you support, and showing you care that you actually been needing. And I feel like because of this is going to restore your sense of humanity. This is going to restore a part of who you are. Maybe you've had a narrative in your mind that told you that nobody, sorry, I'm losing my voice, and nobody really cares about you, that maybe you feel like you're doing this all alone, but you're actually going to find that you are drawing new people into your life, and they're going to help set you on the right path. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is going to help heal a part of your heart and help heal you. Another thing as well is, the bag has the rose. You're still soft and tender, but you've developed the thorns to protect yourself. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, that is also what has aided you along this path, as being able to not be as naive and being able to realize that not everyone is for you and not everyone cares for you, and willing to cut your losses when you needed to. This has been a very difficult journey for you, but I just see that for a lot of you guys, you have more people talking positively about you than negatively. You have people that are willing to take forth that effort and try to help you rather than take from you. And this is going to help you be able to finally see your worth, see that you are worthy of the help, the love, and the support. And I feel like you're drawing this to you because of all of that inner work you did, and because you let go of the baggage that's been holding you back from receiving this kind of love and receiving this kind of treatment. things are going to start opening up for you, and things will start making more sense why certain things happened in your life and why you had to lose certain things in order to gain this new thing. It's like you had to let go of the old in order for the new to come in, and I feel like it really is just that, like a new beginning disguised as old endings. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're finally going to be receiving the good karma that you deserved. And honestly, like, I'm really excited for this pile because I feel like you guys have been through a lot and you definitely deserve the love, the kindness, and the support that you are about to receive. So that's what I have for this pile. I hope this resonates for you guys and helped you guys in some way. Have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye. For those of you that picked pile number 2, this is going to be your reading for what and how are you going to be getting the bag or the resources. So this is the bag. I'm going to try and put it up close so you guys can see it. It's pretty cute. Little handbag. Alright, so how are you guys going to be getting the bag? We also have sudden wealth. Love to see that. Goes great with the reading so far. So we have sudden wealth, we have balance, quest, and abundance. So we have abundance twice here, sudden wealth and abundance. We have Venus, Mercury, what you are what you think, and we have illusions. All right. So all of a sudden already kind of what I'm getting for this pile is for a lot of you guys, first off, you've had to balance a few things out in your life. Now this can look in multiple different ways. For a lot of you guys, you had to maybe cut ties with connections. Maybe you had to balance out different aspects and different connections in your life. For another of you, I also am getting here that life has not been easy for you. I feel like for some of you guys, what you've been experiencing is maybe you've had to learn to find yourself. You've had to learn to take things as they come along. And a lot of you guys, maybe you've had to learn that you don't always get what you're asking for. You don't always get what you want. This could have been a problem in your life, most of your life, maybe. You know what it's like when you ask, like, okay, for Christmas, I really want this. And it's like a very specific brand. And then you get the off brand and you're like, why? And you're still grateful for it. But you're like, why do I always get almost what I want, but not quite what I want? It's like when you would want partners, you would be like, okay, I want this kind of a person. And maybe you write a list and it's like, this person comes in and they check like half of the list and you're like, why? It just feels like you guys have dealt with a lot of disappointment and maybe you've had to kind of go through that a few times in your life. And this is something that has really been bothering you. Now, one of the things that I am seeing here for you guys is love and communication is key for this reading because I feel for a lot of you guys, maybe you have tried to find love, maybe you have tried to date around or you've tried to find a person that will reciprocate the amount of give and take that you do. I feel for some of you, this is going to be the kind of partnership you're going to be gaining. And this is also how you could be potentially getting the bag, is maybe by finding somebody who is willing to share their resources or share their bag with you. Another thing that I'm also picking up for a lot of you guys as well is you have tried your hardest to do abundance, like, manifestations, different things that way. And you are changing and shifting your mindsets. Maybe for a while you've had a illusion going on in your mind where you felt like you can only attract one type of person, or, you can only make this much amount of money per tax bracket. There was an illusion that you kept telling yourself, that you kept feeding into for years or throughout your life. And this could have started when you were a child, and finally it's catching up to you now. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you've nipped it in the bud. You've actually taken the time and you said, you know what? I don't want that. I actually don't accept that. And you are what you think. So I feel for a lot of you guys, you have worked on your mindset when it comes to manifesting. Now, for some of you guys, this is not going to be for all of you. And of course, I do not always recommend or condone gambling, but I do have to point out that there is a slot machine. I feel for some of you guys, this could be something where you guys go on a whim, go gamble, or go and get a scratch off. And you might not win like a lot of money, but you might start noticing your luck is changing. Things are changing for you. And how this is coming about is, like, I'll give an example. One day I was working and this was about maybe 2 years ago, I had a really, really rough month. And I remember I was working on manifestation. I was working on changing my abundant mindset. And it's funny because I kept putting in all this energy and all this work, and I felt like it never happened. And I was starting to lose hope. Well, one day I woke up and I had a really bad day at work, and I also was not making a whole lot of money at the time, and I did not know how I was going to pay for my groceries, and I did not know how I was going to pay for a bill. And so I was sitting there stressing about it, and I remember thinking to myself, you know what? Instead of sitting here stressing about it, I'm going to clear my mind. I'm going to be grateful for what I have, but I'm going to manifest a particular amount of money in my head. So I kept saying, it'd be really great if I could get this much X, Y, and Z amount of money. And then I finally just said, you know what? Screw it. I said, fine, universe, screw it. Just any money will do. I just need enough money to pay for my groceries and to pay for my bill. I don't need anything else. Just give me that. If you give me that, I'm content. And it was the funniest thing is I was getting ready maybe about an hour before closing, and I heard this voice, and it was like, and a feeling, and it said, go check underneath this table. So I did, and there was I kid you not, a wad of money. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, I went around, nobody ever asked for the money. I had one person look at me and say, just keep it, just take it. And I ended up counting it, and it was exactly the amount of money I needed for my groceries and to pay that bill. So it was almost like an eye-opener for me, and it was just because I had the feeling that whole day that, you know what, it's going to happen for me, everything's going to work out for me. I don't know how, I don't know when, and I just know it's going to happen today. That's all I said. I know it's going to happen today, and I did not know how it was going to happen. And I kept reminding myself I did not need to know how. I did not need to know how. I just knew it was going to happen. I knew the universe was going to respond, God was going to respond, and it was going to happen. And it did. And I feel like for this pile, that's exactly how that's going to go down for you, is you may need something. You may say, okay, I need X amount of X, Y, and Z, I need this amount, or there's something that you are set on, and I feel like you're going to end up just saying, screw it, it's going to happen when it happens. You might say it's going to happen today, you might say it's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to happen this week. You're going to probably put like a weird limit on it, but what I'm telling you is it's going to shock you. Because I feel like it's going to be sudden. It's like how I did. I just found that money, but I felt guided to that money. It's going to be kind of how that is for you guys. You could just be wandering around, living your life, doing your job, and something could just pop up. I'm getting like random cash. You're going to find random cash. And if you don't find random cash, I feel like someone's just going to give you cash. And you're going to be like, whoa. And it's going to be like out of the blue for this pile. And it's going to really shock and surprise you. I'm also getting, for some of you guys, this is going to be because of how you talk about yourself and how you talk. You're changing your vocabulary, I feel like, with this pile, and it's causing you guys to have more of an abundance in how you speak, and that is also making money want to come towards you. I feel like money's going to start chasing you now, but you had to have broken that illusion in thinking like, oh, I have to work hard for my money, or, I'm not very lucky. But it feels like this pile, it's like you're getting into a lucky period in time where you're just drawing things to you because of the way you're thinking. And I feel like that's going to be impacting the way that you are viewing your abundance and you're viewing people around you. So I'm going to pull some tarot here real quick. and kind of get into the reading a little bit more before we close out. But that is something I'm kind of getting here. It's like you're going to be gaining some kind of an abundance, some kind of a mindset. And I feel like it's going to come out of the blue for you. And for some of you guys, this is going to be like when you're out with friends or when you're out with a partner. Somebody might invite you somewhere or ask you to go somewhere. And I feel like you're going to be like, it's going to be like spontaneous. And you're going to be like, sure. And I feel like things are just going to start happening all of a sudden. It's like, whatever this is, it's like predestined for you. Maybe you don't see it coming, but you also are not in your head about it. And see, that's the key. I feel like you guys are going to hear this message and then you're going to forget that this is even the reading. Like, you might hear this reading and then you're going to like forget about it. And then all of a sudden it's going to happen for you. It's like something like that, something crazy. There's going to be a positive tower moment in your life where it's like you might just be like, going in, maybe, and this is another thing too, this is something I'm also getting, like keep your mind open. So I knew somebody, I'm not going to say who it was or anything, but I knew somebody who needed a car, and her friends went behind her back and put her name into a raffle that was basically like, hey, my friend, she needs this car, she has like kids and blah, 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 blah. And she won, and she was like, had no idea that her friends did that for her. And all of a sudden, it's like one day she has no vehicle, and the next day she has a brand new car. And that could be something. It's like people literally could just be putting your name into a raffle. Maybe you didn't even know you were in it, and you win. Or maybe you put something in. Maybe this could have happened months or years ago where you put your name into something, and all of a sudden it's going to pop up now, and now you have this. It's like something crazy and off the wall is going to happen for you. And I just feel like for a lot of you guys, it's because you're no longer holding a thought that it's almost like, I don't know how else to describe it other than you're no longer holding on to a negative impact on how you view things. Like, you may have gone a while without having certain resources. Maybe you've needed help. Maybe you've just been doing a lot on your own. And it's just like, I feel that you guys are finally going to be abundant. And I feel like you're going to be abundant by yourself, because I feel like you've been, one, the way you speak about yourself, the way you speak about others, you have started to show the universe that you are more open. Things are balancing itself out in the scales for you. You've gone through this journey for a while, and I feel like this journey has taken you on quite an adventure to where now things are going to start working out for you. You know, I feel for a lot of you guys, you could have dealt with incidences with people where maybe, you know, you could have given a lot to people and never gotten anything back in return. And I'm just feeling that something is going to come in now to balance out that scale for you. Now you're going to be getting something. And it's like, it's all of this work that you put into yourself. And I feel like it's just because you deserve it. I feel like you guys have deserved it. I feel like you've gotten disappointed a lot. And maybe that's something that you're used to, like from a childhood. You know, you've dealt with a lot of tower moments. You've dealt with a lot of disappointment. You dealt with people never keeping their promises to you. There's something here about you feeling like, you know, you can't trust certain things. And I feel like you guys have worked on that resentment, or you've worked on that disappointment. And because you've worked through that disappointment, it's just kind of coming in for you. Things are going to start moving in your favor. I'm also getting here as well, and I kind of noticed that with the last pile, the bag kind of has like a a pretty good significance. I feel like you guys, the way that you dress might be a little flashy or unique. There's something about you guys that's kind of unique. And even though I don't have it here on the board, some of you guys could be an Aquarius, or you just have that uniqueness like an Aquarius does. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, when you look at this type of bag, you don't see like that every day, or people would wear that every day. So for some of you guys, maybe the way you dress could be a little eccentric or a little different. You stick out more. Maybe you wear different types of lipsticks, or you do your makeup a certain way. It's like something about you guys sticks out. And you sticking out and being unique is also what is going to be drawing in that abundance. I feel for a lot of you guys, this is coming in suddenly and unexpectedly, and it's because there's something about you guys that it's like, whether you realize it or not, because you change something in your mind state, because you no longer, it's like you used to probably conjure up the worst scenarios in your head, and maybe you've noticed as of late that you're not doing that as much, that you are laying off of that, and it's not so drastic, that now all of a sudden it's like that magician comes in and you're now able to alchemize that. You're realizing your mindset is not the same way. So instead of sitting here thinking of the negatives, potentially you could be realizing that you're thinking of positive stuff, like, oh, well, yeah, that could go wrong, but I've noticed that X, Y, and Z happened to me the other day, and that was pretty positive. It's like things like that. And you may want to start off small. Like one day I remember I wanted a coffee, and I was like, I really want a coffee, but I don't want to drive. And I don't want to have to go and get it myself unless I was with someone. So I'm like, so I don't know how, but I'm going to get a coffee today. And like an hour later, my friend hit me up and was like, hey, I'll drive you. Do you want to come get a coffee with me? And I'm like, yeah. Like, you see, it's like something like that. Like there's something about, you just know it's gonna come, and so therefore it is. That is your energy. It's like, instead of you having to bend to reality, reality is now going to bend to you. It's almost like you're saying, oh, well, this is going to happen. And now it's like the universe plants seeds in other people's heads that go in your favor, or it's just like something is coming up in your favor. Now, for some of you guys, you could have been blocked by the way you thought for a really long time. And that could have been something that really was holding you back for a while. Could have been, you might have had negative ups and downs. You may have experienced, again, just a lot of turmoil and a lot of disappointments. But I just feel like it's coming to a head. It's coming to a close. It's not the same anymore. And for a lot of you guys, you have this, it's almost like for some of you, because you've had to go through certain things, it's almost like this kind of forced you to be patient along your journey, even when you didn't want to be. This could have caused you to maybe have been misjudged by other people. Maybe other people thought you were really weird. Maybe because of the way that you perceive the world. Maybe it's even the way you talk, Maybe you have an accent, or maybe you talk a certain way. Either way, there's something about you guys that's so unique. And whether you realize it or not, that's what's also going to get you the bag. Because you're so unique, because you're so different, you're standing out, and you're making other people see you as abundant, People can see abundance on you before you get the abundance. People can feel it before you do. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe you've realized people have been treating you off or been treating you weird for quite some time now. And it's because people have been experiencing feeling like you have everything, feeling like you are abundant, and maybe you didn't realize that that's the things that people were picking up on you. And now all of a sudden it's like, maybe you've looked at the Wheel of Fortune like it was in the reverse for a really long time. Maybe you felt like you weren't getting certain bills paid or certain things met. And it's like all of a sudden you listened. It's like you've been through a lot of disappointment, a lot of turmoil. But all of a sudden, you're now seeing, you're feeling an inkling, right? It's like when I had that inkling of like, oh, I needed to go and look underneath this table, and it was kind of hidden. It was hidden enough a way that no one else found it, and it was sitting there probably for half of the day, but I found it because I felt the energy, I felt the urge to look underneath, and I feel like that's what's going to happen for you guys. Something's going to come up, and all of a sudden it's like you're going to realize, bam, this happened. This is amazing. Same with this, it's like, again, maybe you've started to reevaluate the way that you perceive things, the way that you do things. Maybe you have subscribed to Marcus Aurelius's way of thinking. So Marcus Aurelius was a emperor of Rome, and he was also a scholar of philosophy and thought and higher thinking. And every single day before he would leave to go to his job, before he would go and do what he needed to do, he would think of the worst case scenarios that could go wrong that day to prepare himself in case things go wrong. And that way he was just mentally prepared. You may have thought that way for a really long time, but now what I'm seeing is you guys are starting to think the opposite now. Instead of thinking about the worst case scenarios before you leave your house, you're now thinking all of the best case scenarios before leaving your house. There's some kind of shift and change in your thought patterns. And I'm just telling you guys, you're going to randomly get money. Whether that's because someone hands you money, whether that's because someone puts your name into a raffle and you win, or maybe you decide to go and get a scratch off, or maybe you decide to go and do something, but you're letting go of this past disappointment. You're letting go of past pains that just did not resonate with you anymore. You don't resonate with this pain anymore. Because you're letting go of those things, because you're letting go of the past, you're allowing the new to come in, and you're allowing the new to flourish, to come in, to grow, to establish itself. You're no longer telling or feeding yourself those lies, because a part of you guys, you were stuck for such a long time in your own mental state, but I'm seeing that all of those burdens, all of those beliefs that you had are no longer going to be applicable to you, and they no longer resonate in your life. Being disappointed in the past, being disappointed in people, situations, feeling like you were not lucky, feeling like nothing good happens to you. It's almost like all of those beliefs, all of those illusions are finally breaking away, and that is why abundance is coming in, and that is why you guys are going to be receiving love, why you guys are going to be receiving communication. Something about communication, there's something about you finding out you win something, or there's something about you finding out that something good is coming into your life. There's some kind of communication, though, that is surrounded by the abundance, and I feel like it's going to be so very baffling for you, because it's really honestly something you're not expecting. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is going to be something that's going to shock you. And it could even be that you just stand out in the crowd, and because you stand out, you just get this opportunity. So for everybody, whoever you are, I feel like I'm getting multiple different scenarios in this pile. So I feel like I'm definitely getting more than one person. But for some of you guys, it's like you're going to be winning a car, or you're going to be winning money, or you're going to be winning some kind of resource, some kind of adventure, something that is going to shock you. And it's because there's this little part of you in your intuition that tells you to go somewhere, or tells you to pick up the phone, or tells you to do something, or tells you to talk to someone. It's like some kind of conversation ends up giving you some kind of abundance, Like, let's say if you're needing a job and you all of a sudden you meet somebody, you talk to them, next thing you know, you're hired. Or it's like, there's something here that's going to double your abundance, okay? Your abundance is coming in fast, random, and sudden. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is more than one thing. Like, you're going to get like a new job, or you're going to get like some kind of money flow, but I'm also getting that you're going to be getting random cash or random gifts, something random along with the big blessing that's going to be coming into your guys' life. So that's very exciting for my pile number 2. I hope that this helps you guys and resonates for you. I'm glad to see that your luck is finally changing, that things are going to start working out for you, especially because you guys have put in a lot of that work and a lot of the mental state in order to receive this. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye. All right, those who've chosen pile number 3, last but never least, let's see what is going to, how you guys are going to get the bag, or what is it that you guys are going to be receiving. I wanted to kind of bring up the bag up close. It's pretty cute. So this is going to be your guys' reading. How are you guys going to be getting the bag? What are you going to be receiving and why? We have occupation. We have joy, wisdom. We have the moon. We have Jupiter. We have perception and prayer answered. All right. So this is what I am getting for you guys. So one of the things that I am seeing happening for this pile is I want to kind of emphasize your guys' work ethic. I feel like this pile has worked extremely hard, maybe even more so than the first 2 piles that I just drawn for, because what I'm getting with you guys is that you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into either honing into a craft or working hard in general. You guys work for your money. You've always been a hard worker. Maybe that's something that has been instilled into you since a young age. But what I'm getting for a lot of you guys is that you enjoy working. You enjoy doing something. This is the type of pile that if you were to take the day off and do nothing, your mind would still run a mile a minute. You would still feel like you need to do something. You guys like to stay busy, okay? You guys are my little busy bees. And I feel like it's because a lot of you guys, you believe in doing things. If you want something, you go after it. Okay, this is the pile that I'm getting here. And what I am feeling for a lot of you guys is some of you guys maybe have a dream to create your own business, be an entrepreneur. Others of you guys, maybe this is an occupation that you're already currently doing at a job or some kind of firm or some kind of company. But what I'm getting here is that whatever this occupation is, whatever this is that you are dedicating your time, your energy, and your work into, is what's going to ultimately give you the bag. You guys have actually excel past most people's expectations of you. You may have been around some people that were not very supportive, that were not very caring. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you were smart. You're not just wise, you're strategic. You guys got to the position or to the occupation that you're in due to being wise. And here's the thing, knowledge and wisdom are not the same thing. Knowledge is researching, reading, and gathering the data and the information and being able to use that. Wisdom is through actual experience. You guys have experienced a lot. Maybe you've had a lot of ups and downs, and you may have failed in certain areas of your life, but because you have, that helped you gain that wisdom, which is ultimately going to help you get the bag. So this is really honestly my hardworking pile. I feel like you guys enjoy what you do, and even if let's say this is hard work, even if this is something that you don't necessarily enjoy doing all the time, you bring that joyous energy to the things that you work on and to the things that you do. And because you do that, that's only going to help amplify the work and the amount of sheer willpower that you put into whatever projects or whatever occupation you are currently doing. Another thing as well is you guys are very dedicated into whatever this is. You feel if you don't want to do something, you won't do it. That's just kind of how you are. I feel like you're the type of pile that you enjoy hard work, but your heart, your soul, your mind needs to be incorporated into it. So whatever this is that you are doing, whatever work you are putting into, it's being put into because you have that passion, you have that drive. And again, there's something about you guys that's very strategic about the way that you go about things. I feel like you guys, you have developed and honed in on this craft. You have done the habits to get you to where you are today. And a lot of you guys, this isn't by luck. This is not by pure instinct or pure luck. This is by you putting in the actual hard work into this. You put your actual effort, your time, your energy into this particular occupation or field. And because of that, it's going to come around and it's going to work out for you. You guys may have prayed for something. You guys may have wanted something. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, it is going to happen. Some of you guys, maybe, you could have been around people who were like, hey, why don't you come out and play? Why don't you go do this? Why don't you go do that? And you could have buried your head in the sand because you were working so hard. Maybe you had to sacrifice certain things in order to get to where you are. You guys sacrificed a lot to get to where you are currently, and it's all due to the blood, sweat, and tears that you have created for yourself. And it's interesting that I say you guys are busy little bees because we also have the bee in the heart. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, bees, I always signify bees as joy. Every single bumblebee I've ever seen is the most happiest little guy in the world. And I feel like that's kind of how you guys come off to people, is that you enjoy what you do and you love what you do. And that draws more people in to want to buy your products or want to work with you. You're just fun to work with, and you just give this light and this appreciation that it just draws customers, clients, and people to you much easier than the average person. You also could be in a very saturated field where, a lot of people would be negative about it and say, oh, well, I don't know how you can make a living doing that, or I don't know how you could do X, Y, and Z. But it's like you prove everybody wrong because you buckle down, you don't complain, you just bury your head in the sand and you work. And because of that, you're going to get rewards. It's like something about this is going to be expanding because Jupiter is all about expansion, but it's also about being optimistic. And it's like, just, you're going to get like a lucky break, but it's not luck. It's, I know I've used this quote on my channel several times, but it is a good one. Seneca once said, he was once a philosopher, he once said that luck, there's no such thing as luck. It's preparation meets opportunity. And that is where this is coming in for you. It's not luck. It's preparation meets opportunity. You prepared yourself for the opportunity to get this bag. You prepared yourself for the opportunity to get this abundance. You are the sole reason, and maybe even having a few people that were there for you along the way made this become a reality, made this become a dream for you. So I'm going to pull some tarot real quick before we close out the messages here. But what I'm really getting is a lot of you guys, you think about this a lot, right? You're in your feelings for this occupation. I think you guys love what you do. I think you guys put yourselves completely in. You are fully committed to this. Because you are fully committed to this, it's just coming in for you. There's no ands, ifs, buts about it. It's just coming in, and it's causing you to have that moment of realization, to have that moment of being able to work towards what this is that you've been wanting, what this is that you've been praying for. It's finally going to start showing itself in your reality. And it's because you didn't give up. You were consistent. You were persistent. Maybe there were times that you wanted to give up, but you chose not to. For a lot of you guys, there is going to be a few people that could be helping you on this journey and getting better resources, getting where you want to be. I'm also seeing as well as, you took every opportunity you can get to grow your business or to grow and expand. And there may have been times were tough, things were not coming together the way you wanted, but you still went along, you still put in that energy. And for a lot of you guys, you may have felt like you had to juggle or go back and forth. Do I, cut my losses here, or do I keep working on it? Do I go in this path and direction, or do I? And it's like you've been going back and forth between certain things. But what I'm getting here is that this hard work that you put in is going to pay off. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you may have had some feelings towards this, where maybe some of it was positive and some of it was kind of negative, where you're like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work out for me, but you still trust your intuition. You still trust that things are going to work itself out. For some of you guys, this could have been lots of false starts in this occupation, where maybe you thought you were going to go somewhere and it didn't work out, and maybe you felt like, man, what's wrong with me? Why is this not working out? And it was like, but you still had that compassion, you still had that passion, that joy, that drive that kept you going. This pile, you literally probably have had people, and this is something I'm kind of getting for this pile, you could be aware that there were people that could have made fun of you for you going through some hardships in your job or in your career. There could have been people that's like, I told pile number 3 that they weren't going to make it. They should have just given up a long time ago. I don't know why they're still trying. And it's like, you could have heard that, you could have known that, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, it just happens for you. And you're just like, a prayer is answered. You're going to either get a client that's going to be like a godsend to you, or you're going to be getting some kind of resource or some kind of acknowledgement. Someone's going to come in and be like, hey, I like what you do. Hey, I want this. I just feel like you're going to get an influx of clientele, or you're going to get an influx of orders. There's something about where maybe you're almost going to get too much and you might not have the capacity to keep up with it. So you might have to hire on new people, or you might have to, situate and change. But I feel like this pile, you've adapted. And, maybe things seemed very gloomy at one point, but you just kept pushing through, Again, this job, this field, whatever this occupation is, has not been easy for you. You have not been seeing the results that you've been wanting. You've been putting in more effort and work than you actually receive. And I feel like you're going to have people that's going to come in and they're going to just love what you do. They're going to come in and they're going to love it. You might even have a partner that has been supportive towards you, and that's been a blessing. Or maybe you're going to find someone that's going to have the same vision as you, that's going to want to work with you in this field or in this job or in whatever this is. I just feel like something is going to come in and it's going to be very positive for you. Something that you've been wanting for such a long time, but you just didn't see it. You didn't see it because for a lot of you guys, you've just been so busy working, so busy just doing what you need to do, that you're not seeing that is finally coming to an end. You're finally moving forward and things are finally going to work itself out. Something positive is coming in for this pile, and I feel like it's because of a job well done. A lot of you guys, you are going to make a decision that's ultimately, I feel like for some of you guys, you may have had a few people that could have been, like, you could have been screwed over by a work colleague or work partner, right? Or partnership. And that could have been really devastating for you. And I see judgment coming in on that. For some of you guys, maybe you've had to deal with court. We've had to deal with some kind of legality. I just see that working out in your favor. If that is the case, I see for some of you guys, you've had people screw you over. You've had situations where you just felt like things were not moving forward. And I'm seeing it moving forward now. I'm seeing that things are no longer coming to as big of a deal as they once were. I just feel like for a lot of you guys, you're no longer fixated on the negativeness. Maybe you grew up and there was a lot of negative things coming in, going. Maybe you felt like you were not receiving certain things that you needed or wanted. And I feel like that you are finally going to get that. Why? Because you're no longer fixated on the negative things. You're putting an end to the woes is me's. You're putting an end to fixating on relationships that didn't work out, or parts of your job that just did not work out the way that you wanted it to. And I just feel like it's kind of all coming to a head. It's all coming to a end. And the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is going to be justice for all of this hard work that you've been putting in. You know, a lot of you guys, you had this vision, you had this dream, you've maybe have been dreaming about this for a really long time. And I just see that finally, whatever this is, it's coming together and it's going to be amazing. You're going to be able to celebrate with certain people. I feel like for some of you guys, it could be you and another person. Maybe you and 3 other people that work really hard at this job, but you're going to get the 10 of Pentacles. I feel like this year to next year, you're going to start making double what you're not making currently. So now you're going to be seeing your tax bracket going up. Things are going to start working out for you. And it's because you had that passion, you had that vision, you had that drive, because you were dedicated to it. See, wow. Abundance is coming in. Things are flourishing. Things are starting to come together for you, and it's due to all of this hard work that you guys have put in. You guys have put in so much hard work, and I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is finally going to pay off in ways that you did not expect. And I just see that heavily for you guys, that you guys are finally going to be getting the recognition that you deserve. You guys are finally going, it's like whoever, and this is another thing as well, is your bag, whatever bag you're going to get, I see that it's going to be double what you did not expect. I also see as well as anybody that was making fun of you or talking negatively about your business or your occupation is going to eat those words. I feel like for some of you guys, this could even be family members that were like, oh, they're never going to get there. I don't know why they even try. And it's like, bam, you make them shut up. You make them eat their own words. You make people go, wow, if pile number 3 can work so hard and make their dreams become a reality. It's like it's like you don't even realize how big of an inspiration you are to the people around you, because you didn't give up on your dreams. You kept going even when you felt like you weren't going to achieve it. And I feel like you guys could have been praying recently for more clients, or praying recently for more exposure, or praying more for more things to happen. You're like, come on, God, please let me have more views. Come on, please let me have more this or more that. And I feel like it's coming. Whatever you prayed for is actually going to come. And it's due to you being consistent. It's due to you being strategic. It's due to you putting in that hard work and that effort, and it's finally all coming to a head, and you're finally going to be reaping the benefits and the rewards that you guys had. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is something that is going to be really astonishing for you, because for a lot of you guys, maybe you've had people, like I said, just not support you or not give you your flowers when you deserved it. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, because you stayed positive, even on the days that were tough for you, you still stuck it out. Even on the days you didn't want to be there at your job, you still were there. You still clocked in, you still did the job, you still did your work, and you clocked out, and you just were so consistent. So whatever this abundance, how you're getting the bag, you 100% deserve it. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, the benefits is going to be so rewarding for you. You're going to be so glad that you stuck it out. You're going to be so glad that you didn't listen to other naysayers. And you're going to be so glad that you're continuing to do this, because I feel like you're not only going to be getting more money and more resources, but you're also going to be finding people that also have that passion in that field. And I also am getting as well is that for a lot of you guys, you're going to feel emotionally fulfilled by receiving this bag and by working and doing all of this hard work that you guys have been working for. Because I feel like at the end of the day, not only are you going to be happy that you're getting the finances, the resources, which is going to make your life more stable, but you're also going to be feeling fulfilled in how you got there, and knowing that you put in that work, and that is the only reason that you're there. So it's going to give you a lot of fulfillment emotionally as well as physically. So that's what I have for my pile number 3s. This is an awesome reading. Congratulations, guys. You've earned it. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.